Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Coin. So in today's tutorial, it's a sewing aspect of our corset blouse, and I'm going ahead to use my pattern paper to trace out my fabric. The pattern tutorial is linked already. Please do feel free to watch. Alright guys, so I have gone ahead to stay all my fabric with a stay, and I'll be stitching it all through. So this is the front. I'll be stitching first and then go to the next. Okay guys, so I advise that you open up all the seam and give it a flat press. Okay, all right guys, so basically this is what I've done for the front, and I'm going to go ahead to repeat the same process to the back. Stitch all my dart area and then give it a nice press. So I'm done, and I'm trying to open it up and iron this part too. Okay, I'm doing the same thing for my lining. I'm just going ahead to stitch. I didn't bother to add stay on my lining. I just prefer it that way. Okay, so this is for the cup corset, and I just picking the right parts to each other. Okay, so if you watch the cutting the pattern tutorial, you will see where I actually label all of those parts, and I'm just picking them right away, and I'm trying to use my pencil to rule on the line I'm going to stitch. I don't want my seam to be too much or not giving me a straight line stitch. It is very important that it is straight. Okay guys, so this is how it's looking after I have gone ahead to sew it. Okay, I'm going to open it up as well and iron the inside. Okay, it's a cage cup, so I'll go ahead to rule the lines inside where I'll be passing my boning channels. Okay, so basically that's what I'm doing here. I'm trying to rule lines. That's on this part one line, and I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to be having another boning case at the middle, and then I'll just go ahead to mark on this part too. Okay, the space I'm leaving behind is for my seam, so that I can sew after I am done caging it. Okay, so just go ahead to do it the way I'm doing it, and you get it. Okay, so on the other cup, I've done the same thing there already, so I'll just go ahead now and then pass my boning to those channel I have ruled on. Okay, so for my boning, I'm using the tiniest, I think about less than half inches or half inches thereabouts, so less than half inches. So that's the size I'm using for the cage, and that's what I've done. Okay, and this is how it's looking. So I'll go ahead to cover it up. This is the main fabric that is going to be showing on the outside, and I'm going ahead to use a cloth stay to stay the fabric. Okay, so I'm going to turn this over and then cover it up. So this is going to be the outer part, and then the inside part is where I have pushed out. So this is how it's going to be looking. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing for the second one. I'm going to go ahead to stitch on this part around and then flip it over. Okay, done. And then I'm going to go ahead to rule the channel where I'll be having my boning case on my fabric. Okay, so in this tutorial, the kind of boning casing I'm going to be using is the outer one. I want another color to complement the blouse, so I'm just going to go ahead to rule the kind of shape you want. So basically that's what I'm doing here. So feel free to do whatever kind you want, but this is the one I prefer for this tutorial. And then I'll go ahead to pass the same channel on the other side. Okay, all right, so this is the material I want to use to complement my fabric. It has the color in it, okay, navy blue. So I've gone ahead to cut about 2 inches wide, and the length of the dress. Okay, so I've gone ahead to stitch it on my fabric and iron it. So this is how it's looking. I've done the same thing for the back as well. So I'm only having one channel at the back. And for my cup, this is it. I'm going to go ahead to sew it. So I only stitch the upper part so I can flip it, have space to flip it, and then the rest part will be sewn to the fabric. Okay, so you can go ahead to pin it down so it can be convenient for you to stitch on. All right, the stitch has been done, and this is how it's looking on my dress. Okay, it's looking nice actually. Okay, so the next thing for me to do is to go ahead to use my lining to sew. So I'm going to use my lining to cover up all the inside, and then at this part you have to be very careful. It's not that easy, but with patience and carefulness you're going to get it right. So, and that was what I did actually. So for the yoke, that was a pattern I used in drafting the yoke. So it was meant to be like this, but I'm changing my mind to give it an opening. So I'll go ahead to cut it now. Okay, it's going to be a slant one. I just want it this way to feel it's finer like this than the other way it was before. So I'm going to open it up, cut the lining as well, and then I'm going to sew this first. Use the lining to cover it up. I'm going to use lining to cover it up. Okay, then stitch it on my dress. So you have to make sure the placing is right, and then you stitch. So I'm just trying to set it right, and I've done it. I've stitched it on my cup. So that ½ inch space we left on the cup the other time is going to help for this as well. All right, I'm going to be measuring the length of my blouse. Okay, I have seam allowance for the length already at about 1 inch, so I'm going to be exceeding that 1 inch up, and then pass my boning to my channel, the channel I've run on my fabric already, and then give it a nice ironing. You can see it's looking fine, straight and neat. Okay, so for the down part of my dress, after I've passed my boning, I'm going to go ahead to stitch it. My lining is actually shorter than the main dress with about 1 inch. Then that's what it is now. So I'm ironing that part as well. Okay, for the back, I've done the same thing. I've added my yoke, my back yoke already, and I've lined it. I've just done the needful just as you're saying it, and I'm going to be joining the shoulder like so and flip it over. Okay, so it's going to be securing the rough edges, and then I'm ironing it so it can be flat and nice. For the sleeve, I just go ahead to cut. I don't even know, I just gave it this design, stitching it ruffle stitch at the middle. I just run about 3 channels of stitch, making it gathered, okay, like so, and then I went ahead to join it to my sleeve like so. Okay, so, and for the back I'm going to run my it's ready already. All right guys, so this is how it is looking. I actually love it because it's all right guys. So this is the outcome of my blouse. Okay, this is the outcome. So the sleeve is just there just nice like so. You can give it a try. Or just use your desired sleeve. So for the back, the eyelet channel has been done. I've actually opened it up and I've fixed my eyelet to it. And for this part, I'm going to be fixing hook and eye to that part, okay? And this is a flap for the back. I don't want the back of the dress to be open, so this is it. Okay guys, we have actually come to the end of this tutorial. I hope you find this class very interesting. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel, like, comment and share. If you have a question, let me know in the comments section. I'll be willing to respond to you. See you in my next, and bye.